Hey, anybody awake out there in USA? 9:50 p.m. Thought I'd jump on here and see who's bored and all. Waiting on the AC guys to get here. Got my countertops put in the new office and had to build out a little bit more on the cabinet bed past what they put the countertop in. So I had to order some material, put in front of the 3D printers. So I'll see what happens here. I jumped on, I didn't tell them about it. So if somebody fast and it's gonna be because they're still waiting, or they were certain, and it just happened to come through. It's not pretty cool. Get it in there, make it sharp. There we go. Ooh. See if I can get this. Man, I tell you one thing, well, this tape really sticks to this thing. And you can get this tape off, and we end up having to glue it down. I don't want to glue it down on this tape, because this tape sure sticks to the side, and I guarantee if I put glue on it, the glue won't stick to it, or it won't stick to the glue, or stand alone like that. So I'm trying to get it all on here. See what this mat looks like. It's a little thicker than the countertop material, but I think it's gonna work. Well, let's just cut this stuff. Here. Okay. There it is, the diesel green. Well, they cut it pretty rough on it. That shit anyway. Okay. Well, put that up there for them till I can figure it out. Put the rest of this tape on this thing. And I never go live on this chain. I think I've gone live on like 3 times. And each time I do it, I never announce anymore on my going live. I'll just kind of do it. But I see somebody out there, somebody's on here besides me. Yeah, it's just back to me. I'll let lost there. Hey, JSK, what's going on, buddy? Oh, okay, finally, a couple of my friends tell me. Dustin, what's going on? Got some new material here. This thing's there. It's supposed to be heat resistance. It's a pretty good sized piece. When we built my countertops here in the office, of course, they put Formica on them, which I wanted. I didn't want to put any granite or anything because that way if I need to move the office. So when they did the build and built the cabinets and everything in here, uh, it's 24 inches deep, the countertop. So it's got the Formica on it, but on this end here, it comes out an extra 13 inches because the 3D printers are too long for the countertop. So when we were putting the Formica on, I had a buddy come over. We put some adhesive on the bottom of it. And when we did that, I tried to tell him, do not let it touch the wood until we get it in place. And sure enough, it touched and goes, oh, it's no problem. We'll just take it off. He started pulling on it. The Formica went crack. So we ended up having to cut it. It had just enough to go like 13 foot in distance. But I'm missing a piece 36 inches by 13 deep. And it's in front of my 3D printers. And I'm always throwing tools down and I don't want to scratch the countertop. So I bought this big roll of this material. And it's kind of like the stuff that they make the tool mats with that you solder on. And it was like $9 for this. I mean, it's a pretty big piece for the $9. So I've got to take this and glue this down on the front part of the countertop. That way I can throw my tools down and they'll just bounce off and hurt anything. So anyway, so what's going on, guys? The two of you on here, what have y'all been up to? I've kind of been out of the loop on things, busy doing stuff and not had really time to do anything. And I know Al got back from his ski trip and we didn't do the show this week. Next week, we'll start the show back. And I just kind of needed to take a break. So yeah, it's empty because I'm in the building now. So I got a new building, a 4-floor building, and we're on the 4th floor. And we got everything done, everything painted, the windows tinted, everything finished to keep the heat down. So now we got to work on floor 3, 2, 1. And yeah, the roll's pretty good, man. I'm telling you, it's pretty slick. So anyway, now I'm still overseas right now. I took a little trip to Costa Rica for a week or so and just got back. They had the keys to the office already and everything was all painted. I got white behind me. Did not finish that part because they were going to leave it white, but I want it changed. But we painted all the other, that brown color that you're seeing over here in the corner, right here. I've got that all behind the monitors here on the tables and everything. So I was glad to get this building. So we're going to have my company up here on the 4th floor, and then the 3 floors below, we got a restaurant, got an ice cream place here. People step in here and like bars, tonic, lines. You can hold it back. You know, I'll tell you one thing. I've been to the divorce rap. I don't know. It's a little bit different when you get older. Because when you're young, it's like if you don't lose everything. When I went to my divorce, man, I was like, I had a nice computer retail store making good money. Income was good, but man, when I divorced, the attorney was like, she owns half of it. She gets half. So we worked out to where she said if I give her half of what was in the account that day, I wouldn't have to worry about alimony or any of the other stuff. I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing because I do have 2 kids with her. So, but as you get older, things work out different. You look at things a little bit different. You know, when I left the U.S. and when did I leave the U.S.? Before 2000, and went to Costa Rica and kind of on vacation actually at the time, and started a business there, and it took off, and it just did really well. It's ISP. So with that, it's always given me a nice monthly income. So I'm 55 now. So when I was 45, I just pretty much started working from the house, and just to the point where I didn't have to go in anymore because the guys knew what they were doing. it allowed me to travel and do different stuff. If I had to do it over again, being in my 50s, to go through a divorce, it can be really, really rough. But, I got a lot of free time on my hands here, and I love the drone community. I love to fly drones. You guys know I kind of got a bad taste in my mouth with some stuff that happened in the communities over the last several months. And some people didn't show very much support on my end when nothing was done wrong on my end. But, it's done by people that one person has been blocked on everybody's channel, yet his viewers seem like they take his side. And he's not allowed on any other live streams because he's been blocked out. The other guy doesn't even want to work. He begs for everything. And it's like some of you guys give him stuff, and he's got to grow up. You got to stop giving those people stuff because they'll never stand up on their own 2 feet. The other one, the how do I put it this way without saying names? Because I'm not on here to really gripe. People that think they're above us because of YouTube and all that. If you can make $500,000 a year on YouTube, then you can open your mouth and say something. Because I don't make any money off YouTube. I don't make any money at all off of anything that I've made. All the keychains and everything else, all that money basically went into what I spent giving stuff away on events and all. I do it for fun. But I just decided, hey, I'm tired of doing it. And finally, I just decided that some of those people I didn't want to be around me. So the best thing I could do is just kind of walk away from the drone part and leave alone, which is sad because, man, it's like you guys are the guys that I'm here for. The guys that I would call my friends that pop on these lives and come and see me and Al on our show. We're not trying to get 60, 70 people on there. And the funny thing is two of the guys that quote had issues with me, they don't even really support our channels anyway. Well, one can't because he's been blocked on everything. The other one, he only comes in when he wants to sell something to put money in his pocket. And the other was a wannabe. So I'm gonna kind of leave it at that and stop griping. But yeah, divorce is not a fun thing. As you get older, things. You're at 50 now, so dude, that's a rough age to go through a divorce, and especially once you've built up where you live and cars and everything else, and then, I don't know, man. It's just like I'm just glad that some of you guys are still here. I do have several people who've been texting me lately and want to know what's going on. My mother-in-law has been kind of not feeling good, been going back to the hospital doing stuff, and I got some other maybe exciting news here about 7 more months, but I'm not going to get into that. But if you can do math, you might be able to figure it out, which I guess would be good news. I don't know if it's good news at 55 for me, but it's good news. So I've been staying busy, kind of doing my thing and not doing as much flying as I want to because I've been working on the new building here. And my wife wanted to open Osgood Ball. And so I got this building because she wanted it. And then when I realized it had 4 floors in it, I was like, hey, I can have my business on the top floor. So we're going to have a restaurant outside, ice cream store inside. So that covers the first floor. And we're right on a main road, so we get a lot of traffic through. So yeah, you're never too old for a change. I'll tell you, I see so many people that are online. You guys know how to use computers. And I don't know whether it is some of you guys just are settled in with your jobs, making money, and you've got enough to get by and you're decent with it. But my brother worked with GE for like 19 years and in the insurance field. And one day they came in and they laid off like 2,000 people. And of course, he was big, in the company high. He was one of the first people to go because he could have fed like the salary of probably 4 or 5 workers that were there. So after 19 years, they pretty much just said, get out. Now, being in his position, knowing all the insurance agents, when he closed, he just opened up a computer store that did service and provided service to all those agents. So luckily he was in a position to move forward. It didn't really affect him financially, maybe just a little while until they got set up. But you guys have all seen these guys online and these young 18-year-olds, oh, I'm making 30,000 a month and showing all this stuff. Most of the people that you're seeing overseas, they rent these places, it's like staying at a resort. And some of them are cheap. They don't own them. They don't have any money. And people say they're digital nomads. They're backpackers, dude. They don't have any money. They live off of mom and dad's money, come over here, go to different places, different countries, and they skip for a little while, and then they got to go back to home and refuel the money up for 2, 3, 4 years, and they get to come back. It ain't like living over here doing stuff. You have to have an income every month to live over here because I'm telling you, it ain't cheap. Some stuff, yeah, you can buy some products cheap, but living expenses can add up. But I kept seeing all these people online saying they were making money. So I was like, you know what? This many people can't be lying about it. I got to check this out. So I set up to talk to 3 different people that said they were making money in different age groups. One of them was even older than me. And the first 2, all I could see was when they were talking was stuff that you needed to join and stuff you needed to pay for. And they were talking about affiliate marketing and all this other stuff. Well, here's the deal. A lot of us already are set up as an affiliate through Amazon because, we do the drone stuff. And you guys know as well as me that if any of us put a link out there, more than likely, unless we're friends, we're not going to click on those links. They don't click on mine because it's like, oh God, Robbie, but he's going to make 50 cents if we click that. Don't click the link. It's like a haters group. So the best thing to do is kind of like eBay. When you throw something out there, nobody knows you. They just see the product. If they want it, they buy it. That's the way these links should be. But it's like most of the guys who are in the communities here, it's like with drones. Yeah, man, you got a drone? Yeah, I want to buy it. But the problem is they want you to like pay them to take it. You're giving them a $1,200 drone and they're like, 700, oh, it's just too much. I'll only pay it $199. I mean, so I just kind of started looking around at who was around me and who I was dealing with. And I was like, dude, this is not worth it. If you really look at the real flyers, people that are out there, the people that call you and contact you and text you, those are the guys that are your friends. Because, I know everybody would like to make a little money off YouTube and this and that, and I'm sure there's some that make any, but there's nobody that we know that makes an income where they live 100% off YouTube. One guy does real estate, does his YouTube channel, does his 3D printer, just to replace one job that he had before. Hell, I can make that in my sleep. I mean, but keep in mind, I'm 55 now. So it's different. I've built it. I built it that way. Never count your friends or family when counting customers. Yeah, you're exactly right, dude. You're exactly right. So in my story, I went to 3 different people and started doing it. And I found another one that sounded like it could have been something. And it was like $7. We're like, you invest $7 into this. It's a one-time fee. Watch the video. We'll show you how to affiliate market. Well, I'll tell you, I know a lot of you guys that I help set up affiliate marketing through Amazon, just on how to set it up. It's pretty basic. Most of you can do it anyway. And I can guarantee you, out of all the people I set up, I don't even think there's one person that made like $50 or $100 a month. Never made it. And the reason is like we've been posting in our Facebook groups and our drone groups. These guys are like, they're not going to click on anything, dude. They're not going to let you make a dollar to do anything. It would be different if I wasn't working a job or, I was in a different situation. But dude, it's like everything that we've made, we've given back to the people every time. But it's just funny how they are. So I came across one that I was really interested in. It was like $7. You can join this. So I called my buddy up, a guy that I knew had been doing this and said he had made a little money. And a real honest guy, talked to the guy. We spent a couple of months becoming friends and talking and different stuff. And he's like, hey, the company does try to sell you other stuff as it goes down the line. He said, but what you'll learn for the $7 is to let you see if you're going to, stand up there and hit the ball and tee off with it and try to make a business out of it on the side. Not to replace your job, but just to make a little bit of money on the side. And he showed me I can't say exactly because there's rules that we're not supposed to show, but I could physically see that he was making money. And I don't mean a little money. I mean, dude was making like thousands a month. And I was like, how are you doing it? I said, I set up with Amazon. I said, hell, I never made that kind of money off of it. Although there's one person that makes money from Amazon, but yet swears up and down the money goes to St. Jude's Research Cancer Center. I guarantee you that 0.005% goes, because I know somebody that works at that hospital, and he said very highly unlikely, never ever use a fundraiser or sick children or kids to try to sell products. But anyway, back to my story. Um, you can't make any money just putting it in your Facebook. You just can't do it. Not any real money. You might pay your Amazon bill. I pay my Amazon bill and a couple other little things, but I figured out where to put them at, where to actually put those links at, how to get people to buy stuff, what products to buy. And for all you guys that don't know, that may be doing Amazon or considering doing something with affiliate marketing, Amazon has a cookie. So when we post links, that cookie is good after you click on it, whether you buy anything or not, is good for 24 hours. So if I put on there props and you click on those props and don't buy them, that's okay with me. But more than likely within that 24 hours, you're going to come back and buy something else and I'm going to get paid a commission for it. So that's a cookie. It's 24 hours. Dude, there are companies out there that have 20, 30, and 90-day cookies. Think about a hobby. Think about buying auto parts. Dude, there's so many companies you can set up to be an affiliate with that when people are restoring cars and doing stuff, that they'll click on it one time. So I paid the $7 and I went through this 15-day course on, didn't have anything to do because I kind of stepped away from the drone stuff, do something else for my time. So I took it and went through the 15 days. I learned more in 15 days than I ever learned trying to do it by myself. Because I was trying to promote stuff that there was like $1 profit in, and I was only going to get 1% of that. I mean, most of the stuff you saw on Amazon only pays 3%. People say, no, it's 10%. Yeah, but you sell an Xbox game and it is. But with all the stores and Walmarts and everybody else selling those Xbox games, it's very likely that they're not going to buy it. And the ones that do buy those expensive games, they're gamers, dude. They know where to buy it already. They don't need to click on your links. So I know that I'm not talking that much about the drone stuff, but I did have a couple of you guys that came in that are my friends, and I wanted to share kind of what I've been doing. So I continued to talk to my friend, and he had joined this company to help promote them and make money from it. And I would say on an average right now, my friend's probably making $36,000, $37,000 a month. And he works for Comcast. He's got people in his family that have medical conditions. So he has to keep that medical insurance. But dude is making like some serious money. So I kind of followed his footsteps a little bit, started doing what he did. I didn't see anything like the first week. And then the second week, I got like $3. I was like, all right, I got a little money here. Didn't really do a lot. And it's not like you're going to make money. You hear people say, oh, you're going to make money while you sleep. You will make money. I do make money while I sleep because the guys in America buy it while I'm asleep. So I do make money. Not a lot, but people started buying stuff. And it's not really about like, I don't want to be the Amway salesman that goes and posts all the stuff on his Facebook. And then you guys have to read all my crap all the time. So there's different places on the internet where there's large groups of people that are there that will buy stuff from these companies. So I spent the $7, dude, went through the course. It's a video course. You just it's 15 days of videos and you can take a couple each day. And then you meet with one of the guys from the company through Zoom and he asks you, what's your goal? What's your niche? Meaning, do you want to promote drone stuff, baseball stuff, golf stuff? I mean, retirement homes, whatever. So I've been doing it for a couple of months now. And it's nothing for me to wake up and see $1,000 or $1,800 in my account that I made from it. And honestly, I've made really good money over the last couple of months. And I kind of did it just to see if it was true, because I went through it blindfolded saying, there's no way this can be right. I've been in the internet field too long. I'm an ISP. I know how things work. I know the cookies. I know this and that. But here's one thing I noticed. If you went out today and signed up for affiliate for every company you could imagine, I mean, dude, you can go to Walmart, sign up, you can go to Target and sign up, you can go to, you name it. Every company has got an affiliate offer. And I started thinking about that. How many companies sell a service or product? painters, pressure washers. Dude, if I was those guys and I had a website, I'd put an affiliate on the link and say, look, y'all can be an affiliate for me and sell my service, and I'll pay you 10%. They would get free salespeople to do the sales for them, where they weren't, they don't have to put out money for employees to sell stuff. And it would be almost like a commission-based deal. And they can actually sell their product. So for a company, man, it would be a great way to generate revenue if you're like selling their service or product. But then on the other end, the people like us that would like to push their products and stuff, we have to make money by getting it out to people. Well, that's where the program Not Took shows you what to do, where the traffic is, where are all these people that buy these products and service. And we found them. And the company did everything they said we're going to do. They charged me $7. They never charged me again. And they consistently every Friday put money in my account. And I called my buddy Tom. I was like, Tom, dude, I'm actually making money. This is working. I never did it on Amazon like this. So I'm not talking affiliate marketing through Amazon. I'm just talking about there's different avenues that this company teaches you to go to. And you can actually sell some of the products that they offer too and make up to 60%. And I've got some companies that pay 100%. Like the first month, if it's a subscription service or something like that. And dude, I get a lot. I probably get 30 or 40 people a day that ask me, how do you do this? I mean, how do I do it to make money? And I wasn't going to share it in their own community because honestly, a couple butts out there, I don't want them to know how to do it. I want them to stay broke, working 3 jobs, doing whatever they got to do to sweat it out, because I'm not going to help somebody that dogs me. I'm just not going to do it. You guys, you gotta know the same thing. So, I appreciate you guys coming on. I don't want to bore y'all with everything, but I've taken my time to get some stuff done, grow a little bit, do a little traveling, and take care of my family. But I miss you guys. I miss going into live streams and seeing stuff. It's like when I left and stopped doing the drone stuff and going on the live streams, dude, I'd have like 2 or 3 people that would text me through the week and they're like, oh, so-and-so pissed off so-and-so on a live stream and did this. And I was like, why would I want to even come back and get in the middle of all that? I mean, why would I want to do it? And I really wanted to come to the drone meet this year and be a sponsor and everything else. But my wife was like, absolutely not. Why the hell would you do that? To give away more stuff, more products, more money. Why would you even want to do that? Why? Why would you want to do it? And you know what? I started thinking about it. It's like, if somebody doesn't like me or has an issue, dude, that's their fault. And you're right. It is 2-year-old drama. But here's the thing, dude, I've never asked for anything from any of you guys, never. And I've given more than most. And I have shipping issues here sometimes. So sometimes you gotta wait a long time for me to come home to deliver stuff sometime. But other than that, I feel like I've done my fair share, and I take the shirt off my back for anybody that needed help, no matter what it was, because that's just the way my dad raised me and my brothers. And my sisters were all like that. But man, I just like, after a while, it's just too much. And it's funny because they think they won. They're like, oh, he's gone, he won. Let me explain one. When this person sits here and thinks I won, understand something. He's still sitting at his computer desk, jumping on live streams with no job and no money. I'm over here living, traveling from country to country, staying at resorts, eating the best food that's out here. I'm living like a freaking king everywhere that I go because I've worked my ass off all my life to accomplish something in my business. So I can do that. So yeah, I guess you really won, but I got a news with you. I would never want to trade my life for yours. I would just never do it. I would never, ever do it. So, dude, when you get older and you get our age, like you had said, you're 50 years old. We're at that age where, like, I'm planning if something was to happen to me in the next 5 or 10 years, if I had a heart attack or whatever it was. I mean, I've got to think about my wife. I've got a 10-year-old daughter now, because, I got married this last year. I've got a lot of responsibility. My kids are grown, but I have a young daughter, and I've got to make sure her future is equal or better than my other daughters. So I have to think about what's going on. So I'm in money mode, dude. I'm constantly working, doing something, but I love what I do. So I've seen a few throwdowns. on them was a live stream trash talking an individual on Facebook Messenger and got caught. Yeah, that's one of the situations that I'm talking about. You know, was I mean? Did I go out to mug shots or whatever it was and get pictures and try to make the person look bad because he's got a sketchy past? No, I didn't say anything. And it was really sad too, because I mean, I've helped those people, and that person in particular I helped. Yeah, had a broken GoPro, still under warranty, and I could have got a replacement until that happens. Like, dude, my hands are washed up. But one particular person put on looked like a picture of a chat showing like, oh, Robbie sent this and said he's getting his lawyers involved and all this, and then called me a puss. I got news for you. They might call me a puss behind the keyboard, but let me be somewhere and let them walk up to me and say that, and let's see how long. Because you know what, dude, bail's too cheap. Okay, so I ain't worried about it. I'm not Mr. Badass, but I'll tell you one thing: when you do that stuff to people, it gives you the advantage for being honest and being fair with people. And I always tried to be fair and treat people with respect the same way that I want to be treated. So I'm gonna kind of drop off that subject and forget about all that, because that's one of the reasons I left, because I just got tired of bull crap. So they can just keep living their little below life level, and I don't see how to do it. I couldn't live. I have to live good. I have to be able to earn a good living to be able to live good and take my family to nice hotels and not worry about bugs on the wall. So anyway, but yeah, so I've been doing this thing on the side with this affiliate marketing company and doing this, and spent the $7, took it. Dude, it's worked really, really well. And I actually met another guy over here that's an American. He's like 6 buildings down from my building, and they own a restaurant. And he's from North Carolina. And me and him kind of became friends, and he started doing it. And he's only been doing it a month, and he's already making money yet. So I'm going to be y'all going to see me putting up some videos and stuff. And I like the TikTok. I didn't like it at first because it seemed like that everybody on there was 13 years old. But I like it because, man, it's almost like YouTube. You can do like a 6-minute video or something like that. It gives you a lot of advantages. And when you do stuff on TikTok, dude, you can like share it to all the other social medias, so you're just doing it on one and it pops up on all the other ones. The app works good. We'll put the text. So I put some of those out, just to kind of get people's attention, and, it's working really funny. So if any of you guys are interested in knowing how I'm doing it, the system I'm doing and what I went through to make money, let me know and I'll send you a link, and you can go over there and pay the guy $7. You don't pay me, it doesn't have anything to do with me, but they'll guide you in the right way and give you 15 days of videos that will teach you, honestly, like 80% of what you need to know to make money. And you can watch the videos on your own time. It's a one-time fee, and it has nothing to do with paying me. It's between you and them. And when I first started seeing all these people online, oh man, I'm making like 100,000 a month and all this. I don't know about that, but I'll say this: I do know of 3 or 4 people that are doing it for the same company that I am, because I joined and I can see the back end of what people making. And one girl's made $700,000 in this last year, and she's a retired nurse. Yeah, I guess she's retired now and making that kind of money. I couldn't believe it. And there's another guy that I saw a couple of his videos, and he's listed in the high scoreboard in the back, and he's made like 450,000, and he looks like a mannequin. I don't understand how he's making money, but they're literally making money. And I look at what people make. I mean, I don't know what the average salary is in the US. I mean, guys, everybody in here make at least $5,000 or close to it or above it. What's good in the US? What's good money in the US? What do people need? What's a comfortable living in the US where you don't have to worry about it? I mean, I guess it depends on what your bills are. But I mean, $2,000 or $4,000 a month extra to your normal job, would that help? Would that put you in a situation where it would give you a breather or something? Because if it is, dude, contact me and I'll point you in the direction that my friend pointed me in. because man, it's fun. It's like you don't have to work all the time. It's not as easy as like, and what I like about it is I see all these people online saying, oh, you can make money taking surveys. When I was a kid in Nashville, we had a survey company. And the survey company would come up to you with a billboard in the mall and they're like, hey, we're taking surveys. We got this new shaving cream. Do you shave? Yes. Well, if you try the shaving cream out for 3 weeks, we'll give you $100. All you got to do is take it home and shave with it, come back in this time frame into our office and fill out a questionnaire on how it worked for you. We're going to hand you your money. Well, they've gone digital and they do it online now. So it's companies that want input from us on what the product is. So they're like, oh, you can do this. It pays 200. Yeah, it does. It does pay 200. And it'll tell you 30-minute Zoom to give us your opinion on our website. Do the colors look good? We need you to talk for 20 minutes with us on Zoom. We're going to give you XYZ, $200 or whatever. And it's true. And here's the deal. When you click on that to do it, they say, okay, we have you in the system that you want to do this. If we choose to pick you, we'll call. Dude, they never call you. They never call you because there's so many people doing it. And I don't even know how the payment works on how quick they really pay. So that's one that's just a terrible idea. Number two, you don't want to sell somebody a service or a product to somebody that you can look at all the time, or you can't go to sleep at night because you knew that it didn't save the life that it was supposed to save when they bought the product. So I like it because they show you what companies and what products are out there, what's hot, what people are buying. I don't know if you guys saw a video I put on Facebook of the foot massager. Dude, it was like, and had no intention of even putting an Amazon link or anything on there. My wife told me, she said, hey, I bought this new foot massager. Dude, it ain't a massager, it's a damn electrocution device. It's like the glass scales that we use that we weigh ourselves on. And when you put your feet on it, where the foot is, it's printed in some kind of metal on the foam. And then it's got a button in the middle that's got two electrodes on each side of the button that go down into the foam. So each side is there. Now they're not connected, only connected through the power button that you put on. So when you put one foot on it, you don't feel anything. But when you put your other foot on it and you complete that circuit, you feel your muscles in your leg doing this. My father had a stroke when I was like 15 years old, 13, 14 years old, and he lost everything on his left-hand side. And when he did, they put a little machine that was like a Walkman that tapes to your leg, and it's electrical, and you turn it up, and it basically sends a signal in, and the electricity makes your muscle expand and contract, and it builds that muscle. And that's exactly what this thing is. And dude, it was really, really inexpensive. And I thought, man, this would be something that would be great. I've got a guy that we live in a private subdivision here. There's a guy that had a stroke. And he looks like he's our age. And I always try to be nice and wave. His wife's out there walking him. He's trying to get his legs back. Yes, a TENS unit, exactly. And so I told him about it. And over here, a TENS unit over here costs about $10. They're cheap because they make all that stuff. All the Chinese companies are over here and the Thai companies, and they make it. So I printed it out and gave it to his wife. I said, you need to get your husband this. I said, because it really helped my dad. So when my wife ordered this through the company that we get stuff through here, and I tried it, I was like, wow. I was like on number 4, and my muscles were like this. And I said, honey, how high does it go? It's just like, I don't know. Well, it comes to find out that thing goes to 19. 19. I can't imagine. So I had it up to like 4 or 5. And it's like, I'll come out here and work on these tile floors, helping get things done. And my legs are tired at the other day because I'm up and down 4 flights. There's no elevator in this building. So I'm up and down the steps. I told my wife, man, my legs are sore. So I put that thing on for like 5 minutes. And when it got through, my legs felt so good, and I lay down. So I thought, you know what? I wonder if they got it on Amazon. So it was $10 here. It's $20 in the States where you guys are at. And I found it on Amazon. I was like, dude, I got to share this link. And I've had a lot of people buy that. And I just put it on yesterday. It was nighttime, y'all's time. So it's not even been on there a whole day. And I've already had a lot of people buy it. I've probably 9 or 10 people buy it. To me, that's a lot. Not that there's a lot of money in it, But it's always nice when you can show a product that you're going to promote and you just don't say, hey, they got this new knife and it cuts great. It's better if you say, hey, here's the knife and I tested it and it cuts great. So there are a lot of ways to make money doing affiliate marketing without having to like sell snake oil, empty bottles of water that say they cure everything. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. I really think the future is going to be where people take their websites and they actually are set up for people like me and you to help move their product. I mean, my hometown where I live in Tennessee, I got guys that have duct cleaning services to clean out air conditioned ducts. It's a great business. And we all know just about the same people. It'd be very easily for me to tell my friends, hey man, this guy's got a duct cleaning service and help you out. And I get paid 10% for it. So I saw a billboard and the billboard had on there, it said buy local. Amazon is not going to support your son's T-ball team. And I put that on Facebook like 8 months ago. And somebody that works with Amazon said something, said, you don't realize that Amazon gave out $6 million last year. I said, yeah, I'm sure they did, but I can guarantee you one thing. Out of that $6 million, Hendersonville, Tennessee, and Nashville was not on the list because nobody I know got their kids stuff sponsored by Amazon. So buying local is important. And I mean, you guys remember, what was it? Y'all remember Ace Hardware? When Ace Hardware used to be the store to go to, dude, you could find any one little screw or one little nut that you needed. And then what happened? Walmart came and we're like, oh God, they've got everything. We want them. We want Walmart so bad. Our prices are low. Well, here's the deal. That one little screw that we bought, now we got about 500 of them in a box. It killed the small business. It did. It killed the small business. So it's like we have to rely on Amazon to get all those little 1s and 2s and 3s now because we basically turned our back on local business. We really have. And when we did that, it just kills business. So, if you're, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you though, if you've got an Ace Hardware store in your town, dude, try to support them. Maybe we have to pay just a little bit more than what we're paying on Amazon. And it's nice for Amazon to do the delivery. But when I'm working on a project and I need it done that day, I want to be able to jump on the bike or the car and drive down there real quick and get a screw and go back 20 minutes later to the one I forgot to do that. So you guys try to remember to do the Ace Hardware. Companies are coming and going like that. It says right here, there's 2 Ace stores here within 20 miles. It's funny, up in Virginia, guys, it used to be Ace Hardware, and they've got another name for it up there. It's not Ace Hardware. It's like Ace Hardware, and they use that name, but somehow Ace Hardware lets them keep their other name, and I think it's like Freedman's or something like that. Maybe it's another chain that they're in with. Yeah, the mom and pop stores versus the corporate stores. You're exactly right. True Value. I like those stores. When my kids were growing up, I lived out in the country in Kentucky. We had, y'all remember the old dollar, not Dollar General, but they were just dollar stores. We'd come up there, climb up, they got that porch on front of them. You go in and you got this huge counter where they slice meat and you could buy sandwiches. You could say, hey, give me a ham and cheese sandwich with mayonnaise and pickles or whatever. They make it for you. Dude, it's like, I don't really know anywhere that does that anymore. It's like it went out. And a lot of us guys would probably support them just for the fact that, yeah, we can go to Walmart and buy everything to make the sandwich, but then we're kind of like dependent on them like our wives letting make the sandwich. I miss that stuff, dude. It's just like when I get older, there'll become a time in your life. And I see more, there's 7 or 8 people in the chat now, so I don't know who's actually in the chat, who's listening, but there'll become a time in your life, guys, that you're going to look at your life and realize that the time you've spent to be as old as you are now is the long lifeline, and the short lifeline is ahead of you. And it's not a clock anymore. It's a speed. It's a stopwatch. So how you spend your time is very important, and that's something I looked at being in the drone community. Do I want to spend my time with some of these people? Do I want to have to listen to people argue and fight and say negative stuff about each other? And, you know, you remember when we were in school, some of us might have been popular in junior high school and high school, and some of us may have not. And I look back now at some of the people I went to school with, and I'm like, man, I'm healthy. I don't have any issues. I'm not overweight. I don't have this issue. Look at the cheerleaders. Oh God, they're just the opposite of what they looked like when they were 18. And the guys, the popular guys, are like divorced 7 times, just about living on the street. Times change for everybody. Everybody. I mean, time changes. So I've just come to the realization of my time's important. And I only want to spend time with my friends like you guys that come on here. And I don't need 5,000 subscribers. I mean, you see out of the over 5,000 I've got in my YouTube channel, what there 7, 8 people here. I mean, I know I didn't announce it, but the point is it doesn't matter how many users you got or anything else. If you're in the drone community, you should be doing it because you love to fly drones. Other than that, dude, do something in your life that's productive. Because when you get old, I mean, if I stroke out tomorrow, my wife's 10 years younger than me, but I'll tell you one thing, she's going to take care of me until my last breath. She's not after the money. She makes good money at her job. She works. And she doesn't need anything from me, but she's my wife. We're dedicated to each other. We take care of each other. Keep that in mind. And when you're going through a divorce, you're going to say the same thing I did. I never, ever want to do this again. And you're going to say that to yourself. And you're only going to say it until your divorce gets over. After a couple of years, dude, you're going to get lonely. And we're going to have to run back and find a replacement. Or that's just the way I think nature is. I guess at my age now, I'm probably, in my situation, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just travel. But, you know, make sense of your time. Hey, Brand Ariels. I had lunch Monday with a bunch of high school buddies. We're all senior citizens. Yeah, dude, you're right. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because man, if you look at us now when we're younger, we didn't need help. We could do everything ourselves. Hell, we're old now. You know, our minds say we can do it, Gary, but we just can't do it like we did it when we was 18 years old. So life is short and we don't realize it, dude. I'm so blessed to have an 87-year-old mother. And it breaks my heart when I call her, because she's like, "Where are you again?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm in Thailand." She goes, "Well, are you alone or do you got a girlfriend?" I'm like, "Mom, you met my wife 5 times." "Oh, I'm sorry." It's heartbreaking when, you know, you lose. I lost my dad when I was in my late 20s. My mother is like 7 minutes into the conversation if it's a good day, and I'm on the bottom of the globe where she's at. So if something happens, I've got to make an emergency flight. Dude, life is short. I got a sister that she was born with cerebral palsy, and it sounds strange, but she kind of like, not saying she outgrew it. It's just that you never know talking to her now, because her balance is so good because she has learned to work through it. But I think about her future. I think about what's going to happen if something happened to her husband. Who's going to take care of her, you know? And so me and my brother David are just like, you know, we're going to have to take care of her. And then I'm looking at him and he's looking at me and I'm like, neither one of us are sick. Who's going to be first? And what are we going to do if you get sick or if what's the plan? You know, because I tell you, my dad is always in my mind going, look after your sister, look after your brother. And you don't think about it. You don't think about it normally. But guys, we got to face reality. We're not 20 years old anymore. So when you get into the drone community and people start doing crap and saying crap, that's when you just want to say, why am I here? And I posted 2 weeks ago and I put a video on there, but you know, sometimes when you're not happy with the people that are surrounding you, you just walk away. Well, that's what I did. I walked away. I haven't been on any live streams, did anybody's show, nothing. I needed some time to think about what I wanted, because I love flying. I love talking with you guys and be able to do stuff. But I want to do like we're doing now. I want to be able to talk about stuff, talk about life, what's going on with us, how we can help each other, you know, be supportive. I don't want anybody to get on here. And it really puts people in a bad situation, because it's like, if you don't like somebody and I like you, then I'm going to become the bad guy because the other guy says that me and you are friends. And I just don't play that game. I'm sorry that you may not like Bob down the road, and I do. And don't make me the bad guy. And I'm sorry to Bob that I like you. So it really kind of puts people in a bad situation. And we need to be able to overcome that. I've always tried and I've never said anything. I've had a couple times where I'll come on here and make comments about stuff that's happened and said about me or whatever. But you know what? Like my wife said, you're always going to have somebody that's jealous about something. Anything that anybody's ever complained about me, somebody said, oh, he's always trying to make a buck. He's always trying to make money. Of course it is. I'm a business person. I've got a family to feed. I don't want to go out and dig dishes. I'm 55 years old. I can't compete with a 20-year-old kid. I just can't do it. So, I think smarter. My time is very important to me now, where I spend it. You're right. You're exactly right, Gary. Kindness is free. We all need to give it. You're exactly. But dude, I just don't understand why some of the people that are in these communities are like this. It's like, dude, I could go on here right now and tell people that making shorts on YouTube is not going to increase traffic. And maybe I do one a week. One person will see that and tell 20 friends, well, he says that they're not getting any traffic, but he's doing one a week. We better do it. It's like I'm lying or something. So you're right. You're exactly right. It says there's a few and far between these days. People have become so selfish and self-centered, pathetic. You know, when I started doing this affiliate marketing stuff, and when you guys hear me say that, don't think of them, don't think of Amazon. I'm not making money. So when I learned to do this, and I met my buddy Tom that does it, Tom is one of these people that he's not the guy that's going to sit down and have a beer with you because I'm telling you now, he's not a drinker. I'm not saying that he's the preacher's brother, but he is not going to sit down with you in a bar if you're single where there's going to be women because he's a married man. He self-school, self-teaches the kids at home, really tight with the money. They've all got a medical condition. The daughter's got an issue, something with her blood, goes to her feet. She got to lay her down like once a day and they do rubber legs or something with her heart. So he has to work for Comcast to actually pay for that medical for the daughter. And I think the wife actually was doing like Uber driver or something like that for a while. And he worked for Comcast for 10 years and was making good money. So he did this as a side thing just to see if it would make money because he had tried everything else. And he doesn't have any more issues. Dude's making, I would say Tom probably makes close to 40 grand a month right now. I mean, he makes really good money, but he puts a lot of videos out, talks to a lot of people. I think it helps build relationships. It helped me and him build a good relationship together. So yeah, when I came on here, I didn't know if I was going to step on anybody's feet doing a live during someone else's show. Honestly, I really didn't care at this point. It says part of our problem is that we judge people based on the minority of the worst of people. Look for the good people and surround yourself with them. You're exactly right, Gary. You are exactly right. And you know the funny thing is, everybody wants to be liked. And I get offended when somebody says something about me that then they don't even know me. I mean, it really offends me. But my wife says, honey, you can't fix stupid. And I'm like, that's good English. That's good English. I guess you can. If any of you ever called me at night, in the middle of the night, I would answer my phone. I mean, Dustin will tell you, Dustin's called me. Hell, I'm over here. We talked. I mean, I'm always available if somebody wants to talk, whether they got a problem or they just want to know something or maybe asking advice or want my opinion. I did this, what would you do? That's what we should be about when we do these groups. And when I started World Drone Community, let me tell you why I started it and how it went. And I'll try to keep this one short and breathe between my talking because I don't speak English that often here because everybody speaks Thai. So when I have a chance to voice, I'm going to talk. So hold on to your seat. I started World Drone Community because when I first got in the drone fields, I tried to join other Facebook groups that were in different states. and nobody would let me in. Florida was like, you got to live in Florida. Where do you live? It was in the description, and then I went to Georgia, and I figured if I joined all the states and just listened to all the shows and everything, I would learn everything there is I wanted to know about drones. But nobody would let me join except for the states that I lived in. And then one day I thought, you know what, I'll start my own group and I'll call it World Drone Community. And I'll invite all those states in so I can get those states into our group so we can learn together. And that's where it actually started. And then Al Duran, which was a really good friend that lived behind my sister, and I was always there. So me and Al would always, you used to see me and him. We were inseparable. We flew all the time. And Al got me into the YouTube and in doing this stuff. And I fell in love with it. And I was able to find ways to make a little money here and there, 3D printing some parts or selling this or doing that, to buy stuff to give to the people that are having the events, to buy stuff to give away. For me, it was a fun thing. It wasn't, I don't need it to pay bills. I don't have a mortgage. I don't owe anything on anything. So it's like, for me, it was just like free money that I can use and help the community grow and meet people. But dude, I'm telling you, it's like people started coming out of the woodwork. They're like, one guy said, oh, he's trying to make another buck. He's trying to do something. And then in the next sentence, but please buy these headphones because I need to sell enough to get $1,000 for the children's network. The children need this money, dude. I'm not even gonna get into that subject. It makes me red-eyed when I do it because I lost a sister to cancer. And it really comes close to me when my mom used to say that when you're trying to buy something and the people start talking about the Bible, she said, never, ever buy it because they're hiding behind the Bible to sell stuff. And dude, it makes a lot of sense. And when you get older and you got kids in their late 20s and 30s, it really upsets you because then you got kids and grandkids to worry about. There's people like out there peddling this bullcrap to us, so we'll buy their crap and they can make money. And there's so many better ways to be able to make money. So it says right here, a good person doesn't leave a lasting impression, but an asshole does. Keep your eyes open for the good ones. Dude, it really does. But here's the deal that I found, Gary. When I 3D printed some parts, I 3D printed some guards. A guy named, see if I can even find his name. And I might just have to tell you, I think his last name is Galt or whatever. He had made some and printed them out before anybody else did. Nobody else did. Now keep in mind, and I can probably ask everybody in the chat this. I say I'm going to start a tire company. Now I'm going to make tires, and there's going to be 100 other companies that make tires. If I made it round, you think there's any chance that they're going to say I copied them, or should I make that tire square? Hell, I got to make it round because that's the way it is. So forbid that my design was round on each side, and just like the other guy's was. And he actually put his for free out on the internet. So I printed it out, and I got accused from another person of stealing his design like I stole. Well, number one, it wasn't his design. It was someone else's design first. And once you get a 3D printer and understand how they work, you don't have to have their file to design something, dude. You just got to be able to measure it. Put it on a piece of paper and draw around it and measure it and open up the program, and you can make it yourself. I had people that were part of us, and I don't see the person in the group. And the person made a comment. He said, oh man, I can't believe Robbie did that. Oh man, I'm shocked. It offended me because I texted this person. I said, man, I'm sorry that you got drugged into this and that you had to make a comment like that. I said, because it's not true. The person never, ever responded to me or said, I know it's okay. I saw him read it. And then later in the chats, he was in there saying, hey brother, hey this, hey that. And I was like, brother, I wasn't a brother last week when you thought I was copying somebody's stuff. So that's what really turned me away from all the YouTube stuff. None of you guys. You guys are the guys that come on here that, have good stuff to say. But it's hard because there's so many friends that are friends. One guy called me and he goes, hey man, why are you doing this to my friend printing stuff? He's my friend. And keep in mind, he did this because he knows the guy sees it and he's after freebies. I better take his side because he's a YouTuber and he gives me free stuff. So I better let him know that I'm on his side. Robbie, why would you do that? He's my friend. And I'm like, he's your friend. did he help you get subscribers when you weren't at 1,000? Or was it me that went out on my Instagram and pushed and pushed and pushed? And you said, oh, we're over 1,000 now. I have 1,000, and never said anything except for, I want to thank everybody that's got us here. And I made the comment, dude, what about what I did for you? Oh, you're the sponsor of tonight's show. You didn't know that? Dude, stop feeding me the BS. I've heard it before. I'm not 30 years old. I'm 50, over 50. So anyway, guys, I'm getting off to a rant here or something. I need to stop. My blood pressure's about high. So what have y'all been doing? Gary, what's been up with you, buddy? Anything exciting happening? Northside Hawk, are you still on here? I see you put in here. Are you still on here? Gary said it gave you a better 50. Dude, you know, honestly, at 55, I don't know if I could remember. There's times in my life, I guess, that are bad times. And kind of like when you go through the divorce, you block out those years. I want to say this about Don with Northside Hall. And guys, everybody in here is going to agree with me on this. You started off slow, gradually went on the different live streams, worked hard to get where, dude, you've done good. I'm seriously, I'm proud of you, man. You've hung in there. And dude, I mean, you've live streamed from bars, cafes, maybe a couple strip clubs, just kidding. And I give you props because what you're doing is called consistency. And everything that we do in life that we succeed in is from consistency. Look at that, Mike B. Said nobody likes me, so I don't have to worry about losing friends. Mike, dude, I ain't got a problem with you. You know, I always tell people, as long as you don't play with my money or my family, we're gonna be friends. When you step on one of those toes, it affects me, and then we got a problem. Other than that, dude. And you know, it's funny because I saw something on TikTok or somewhere, and it said, you know, if you got a problem with me, it's not my problem, it's your problem. Dude, that's exactly right, because it's like they want us to have a reaction online and make a big scene. You know, QC guy talked crap about me, okay? And it made me feel really bad because him and Maddie both were talking crap on his channel. And I made a comment, hey, I'm here. And he's like, oh, he's picking on Maddie. My point was, dude, I'm here, don't talk about me. He made me look so bad on his channel to all these people. And then I think it was me and Al had a live stream. All those people came over and were talking shit in my live stream. I was having to like delete them out. And I was like, none of these people even know me. Okay, now keep in mind, he'd been into it with one guy that's in one country that got him 3 strikes. He cried and got off the internet the year before last. Y'all remember that? He got into it with Marcus, and they blocked him from that show. Got into it with Ray, got blocked from that show. I had to block him from my show because when he was on my live stream once, he talked bad about Marcus, and I had to kick him off of mine. He goes, oh, it didn't work. I didn't want it to work with him. That's because I threw his butt out because of it. It made me look really bad. And some of the people actually followed him on it. But you know what, dude? Other than him, who's ever blocked me from a channel or if I said anything? Why would he be blocked from Marcus's? From Fly for Fun show? Who else? There's more. Drone River or whatever it is. There's like 4. Why would they block him? I mean, he's such a great guy. I was telling everybody, such a great guy. And then picks on Captain Red. Ray in his 70s. Talking about, oh, they let him out of the geriatrics home to fly his drone. Dude, you don't do that. So, and I'm the bad guy. What have I ever said to anybody? But yeah, that person is like, people are like, yeah, we don't like that Robbie guy either. I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. So that's where all this started that really offended me on this. And then somebody making a comment to me in the 3D printer, oh, I'll see you at the next drone event. And I told this person without saying his name, dude, don't ever act like you're threatening me being 5 foot, what, 2? I mean, I'll stomp your butt. So, see who's in the thing here. Yeah, Dom, seriously, dude, you have like, you've earned your keep, dude. You've been in enough live streams and put your time in, you know. Yeah, Gary, you probably do. And it's sad too. it's a sad situation. But what I figured out, and my wife said, they're probably doing it for views. It's kind of like, have you ever had a friend that always had problems? And he was like always the black sheep. And anytime something happened bad to anybody else, he would focus in on that to take the attention off him. That's exactly what that situation is. Exactly. Because I never ask for money from anybody saying, oh, buy this product because it's going towards so and so to help kids or help this person or this. You'll never hear me do that. If I do something for a charity, I do it and I keep my mouth shut. I don't have to say what it's for or anything else. So, yeah, but it's sad. So because of that, I did, guys. I walked away, decided not to go to the event this year. I'm not even going to be a sponsor. I don't want to be involved because all I'm doing, and it's bad because you guys that do go are the ones that suffer because when I give the stuff away, that gives you guys a chance to win that. So it's and I hate it because you guys that suffer are suffering because the ones that have talked crap that are trying to make me look bad. So, dude, it does. And it hurts me when they make me look bad. But you know what? Keep working. The people doing this, keep working your jobs and try to at least have a medium lifestyle where I'm over here living, traveling, eating good, being nice to people, thinking positive, and I continue to grow while you deceive the next person until finally you're going to go under. You guys ever seen, you've always seen these shows where the guy has boat trouble and he jumps in his raft. What always happens to the raft? It gets a hole in it and they're like, sometimes they live, sometimes they don't. It runs out of air. These people are in a kayak with a hole in it and they're paddling out to the ocean. They're not coming back in. They're going out. So if they've got a hole in that kayak and they're going out to the ocean, you know what the long term is, right? Yeah. Yeah, I still, dude, I got so much stuff. I got so many of those batteries and so many of the other stuff. We're going to come back. Me and my wife are coming back probably in July when we'll be back. See you, Gary. Hey, thanks, buddy, for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's late at night for you, but I appreciate it. I do consider you my friend. Not that anybody cares, but you're definitely a friend. Yeah, I've got more stuff. Dustin, batteries, and I mean, I ship everything to my brother. My brother's been sick with bronchitis and some other crap. I'm waiting for him to get better. He's got a bunch of stuff that he needs to ship out. They were gifts. They were just stuff that I had donated or you guys had won or something like that. And it's kind of out of my hands because I can't do anything from here. But eventually, when the time's right, you'll get your stuff. So. Yeah, Dominique is everywhere. But you know what, dude? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But here's the thing, and I'll say this again. If you're doing this to make money on YouTube, dude, take your time. Do it because you like it as a hobby and you like hanging out with guys. It takes so much, and there's so many people that are going to work against you to try to keep you down from making it. So, I got one or two that does everything they can do to hold me back. But you know what, dude? If you're trying to hold me back and you're making under 100,000 a year, dude, then you keep trying to hold me back because I don't need to make any money. I already got that money covered. So, Charles, what's up, buddy? Glad to see you there. Might be. I can't believe you told me that nobody likes you. I hope that was a joke. I've never ever heard anybody say one negative thing about you. All right, Dustin's 3D printing a Stormtrooper helmet. All right. When I built my countertop, I'll let y'all look at this. I'm waiting for my AC guy here in the new building, so I got a fan just out of sight of my camera here. But I'll show y'all my countertop that we made here in the office. I'm gonna flip my camera around here. So this is how they built the counters, and I actually put the Formica on myself. I've got to put the front board on, and I built this all the way across. And then I got a 3D printer here. The other room is set up like this with 3D printers all the way across it. But at the bottom, I actually did two poles and I ran my materials through there. Now, I'm building an enclosure around this that will be hopefully airtight when I get through. And then I'm going to put a dryer inside to help keep them dry. I do have a separate dryer, so usually before I 3D print, I'll pull it off one of these rolls and do that. But I went through, we had the windows tinted in here to help keep the heat and everything down. But this freaking building is huge in here. It's like, it's big. I picked the 4th floor when we got the building because I can go on the balcony and I've got a 7-Eleven across the street and I can holler over there and they'll bring me a drink. They'll bring me a drink. So I needed to get as high up as I could get on the 4th floor, although I do have an antenna above the balcony and the damn birds keep trying to build a nest in it. So I've got to go out and get a fake owl to scare them off. And then my wife said, we spent all that money on the 3D printers, print a damn owl. So I guess I've got to find an owl to 3D print and stick up on the antenna to keep the birds away. Yeah, Charles, I think I've seen a couple of posts you've done. I think you're big into the gaming field and all that stuff. I've never done that much. I mean, honestly, I use Discord a little bit, and I hear the gamers talking and doing stuff, but I just never have really taken the time to sit down and play a game. I got a buddy that was like some kind of master wizard at Warcraft or something. And every time I try to go in there and do something, he would like, I don't think he's got a cheat or something. He'd pop up in a door behind me and pop me in the head. I gave up. Dustin said he filmed the owl on Think First. Hey, Dustin, I got a question. If I print it out, you think anybody in the drug community will say I copied it? Or should I give it Vampire Tape? Guys, y'all must be bored. I know it's 11 o'clock in some of y'all's state, but I'm glad that y'all came on and kept me company while I'm waiting on my AC guy. We use split units here. So it's like, it looks kind of like, remember those old floor heaters that go on the floor? It looks kind of like that. It goes up on the wall. And then the other end is outside, like the unit itself, and it blows through. So I bought a new unit to go on the 4th floor. I've got to do all floors, but we're trying to like paint each floor and work our way down. And I had a crew in here painting and cleaning for a week just to like clean the building up. We changed out faucets. We've got 4 floors, 2 bedrooms in the top 2, alongside the offices. With the 4 bathrooms, there's 4 showers in each bathroom. So they're like big bathrooms and all of them. And all the sinks and everything that were connected to the walls, there was like 1-2 inch gaps behind there with a caulk falling through. So I had to get all new bracing installed and mount new sinks with new faucets and got all the pipes. So we've got the majority of the stuff down now. Now we're just down to, they're going to finish up some painting. And then I want to get a generator brought in here because we're going to have got an ice cream store on the 1st floor of our building. And I want to make sure that if I'm at home, I keep having this nightmare of the electricity cutting off and them calling me saying, all the ice cream is soup. I have that panic. So we went to buy our ice cream and they've got a brand here called Wall. And she's like, everybody loves Wall ice cream here. And I was like, but what do the big places use, like the Swansons and the big companies? What do they buy? She goes, well, they probably make their own. I was like, well, I want to buy from who they buy from. I don't want to sell the same ice cream as other people because other places sell stuff that's pre-wrapped. We wanted a place that had scoops, like the old ice cream soda places people go and hang out. So we do just buy the scoop and we get it in the big 5-gallon tubs. And I buy it from Nestle because they make the best ice cream. And nobody really sells Nestle over here unless you drive out to one of the major malls. So it makes it good because people come in to buy the ice cream, and we're putting a restaurant outside. So in order to pay when you eat, you have to come in the ice cream and pay there.
which brings people in and let them know that we have ice cream. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Yeah, Baskin Robbins. Dude, I remember Baskin Robbins very well. Says Robbie, I'm getting back into role-playing games, playing a Star Wars RPG that gets streamed over Twitch and YouTube. It's interesting to me, Charles, but honestly, right now, before you came on, I was sharing some information with a couple of the guys that I've been doing some affiliate marketing stuff. And don't thank Amazon when I say that, and I tell people every day, because you're not going to make any money. It kind of takes up my time. I mean, honestly, when I wake up each day before here, it's not that it didn't feel like home because I'm not back in the States, but it was like, what does today hold? I got to eat breakfast. So am I going to eat something here at the house, or am I going out to a restaurant, or am I going to go by a 7-Eleven and grab a cold drink and a bag of chips? What am I going to do? So my biggest issue that I have for living here in my life is determining what I'm going to do each day when I get up. I have nothing to do. Sometimes I'll 3D print stuff. Sometimes I'll stay in bed all day and watch Netflix. Other days I'll get on my motorcycle and just go. You know, we've got so many projects going on right now in this building since we bought this building. And then we've got another building beside us that I'm hoping in the next month that we can get that building, because we want to open a school over there. There's a bunch of teachers here that teach, and after hours they can teach classes. Well, I paid for Chinese classes for our daughter. I paid for English classes for our daughter. It ain't cheap to be able to do that. So by bringing them in, not only can her daughter learn, all the other kids know that it's American owned, and they will come and sign their kids up to learn English and learn Chinese and the other languages. And I already have the teachers ready to teach them in-house in the building, but I'm not going to do it until the building becomes available, because Starbucks was going to move into the building, and then something happened and they backed out. And then the guy said he was willing to sell it. And we actually got this one really quick because they announced the new mall opening, which is right across the street from us. And as soon as I saw that that was available, I was like, I want that building now. So we got the building, it's ours. Had I waited a week, I would have probably paid double for the building, knowing the shopping mall's coming in across, because the property value here is going to go through the freaking roof. Even where we live, we've got we got 4 homes in our subdivision now. We live in one of them. Had I tried to buy now compared to when we did buy, it'd have been triple the price, because the malls can, it's just, you know how real estate does. Yeah, Charles, are 2 different companies. One of them is just ice cream, because just to give you, my wife was smart on this. I'm telling you, it's so funny because someone, and I hate to rant again, but when somebody was talking bad about me one day, my father-in-law had just died. My wife is going through a rough time. He posted, yeah, he's over there with his in-laws hacking away. Maybe that's who's hacking me over there in their, what do you call it? Cabina, living in a cabina with his in-laws. Dude, you have no idea. You ain't got no damn money. You ain't never had it, you never will, not with that attitude. I've worked hard for what we have. We live good. But aside from that, it gets hot here. And my wife has a master's degree in finance. So she went to university. She didn't learn from a mail-in order. She's smart as a tack. She said, I want to open ice cream. It's like, honey, why would you open ice cream? You can buy an ice cream here. And she goes, well, let's go and have ice cream. I said, okay. So she took me to 7-Eleven. I was like, what are we doing here? She said, well, you said you wanted ice cream. I said, I want to go to the mall. She goes, why? I said, because that's where the good ice cream is. She goes, exactly. We don't want to sell what 7-Eleven is. We want to sell ice cream. We need a building. And I said, honey, do you think that we will? She goes, who sells ice cream within a 15-minute drive from where we're at? There's tons of people. We got 2 schools here. I mean, people and kids are everywhere. And I said, well, nobody does. And she goes, that's why we'll sell it here. And I was like, but do you think people will buy it? And she reminded me, she said, when April hits, it's 105 degrees here. What do you think? And I was like, well, at least if I buy the ice cream, I know that I'm going to have ice cream. So as we get the ice cream through Nestle, her daughter is 10. And she said, can I work in the ice cream store? I said, no, only me. And she goes, really? You're going to work? She goes, but you're the owner. And I said, yeah. She goes, what is your job going to be? I said, I'm the taster. I'm the senior taster. And she looked at her mom and she said, Mom, this is a bad investment. And I said, why? She said, why? And she goes, Robbie's going to eat up all the profits. So yeah, Charles, I do have a good location here. And in front of our building is probably, I don't know, 30 foot long by 40 foot from the front of the building to the sidewalk. And it's probably got a 30% grade maybe, or 25% grade. It's like this. They do that here for the water and everything. It really sucks because you got to like position things right to do business. So what we decided to do was build where it's shaped like this on the front of the building. We connected 4x4 steel post and went totally level out. So at the road where the sidewalk is, we're like 2.5, almost 3 foot high level. It goes all the way through and they're decking it. So you walk up steps and you got the whole restaurant to walk straight through into the ice cream, into the bathrooms, and it's smooth. So we're utilizing that space that we have in the front instead of having to, have people walk in, or you can't set a table on that and be comfortable. People be falling down, the waitresses and stuff will be dropping stuff. So, and we don't have the restaurant open yet. So we're still trying to decide what our niche is going to be, whether it's going to be like burger and fries, whether it's going to be pizza. There's a lot of kids here, so we're thinking about that. And we don't want to start off with any alcohol or anything because places that do the alcohol, marijuana is legal here. Sometimes you get the wrong element coming in here. None of the families would come if that's the situation. So we got to be real careful and kind of do it in stage and maybe put a little beer on the menu in a couple of months when things pick up once we get open. And then we have employees that will run those businesses. And then we are putting an addition on the house that we're in now. So as soon as we finish putting the addition on there, we plan to move to our new location, which we're building another home, which will be our final home here. And then it's got 40 acres. So with that, we're going to build a restaurant and some other stuff. What about the exchange rate for the baht? It was 37, it was 34 or 37 yesterday, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's family friendly. It's the way it needs to be, dude. People over here are different. It's like everybody's pretty calm and relaxed, and like, you guys know I was in Costa Rica for 10 years, and that's where that's my main business, my source of income comes from. You go eat at a restaurant in Costa Rica and the girl doesn't bring your drink for 10 minutes and then you complain, she'll flip you off and walk off, and the owner won't do a thing because he's like, if I fire her, the guy next door is going to hire, and I got to get another one in. There is no service in Central America. There's just not, unless you go into like a big franchise company where there's rules. Here, dude, it's just the opposite. It's like anywhere you go here, they don't care what you look like, how you act, your money coming into their businesses. They will bow at you, say hello, greet you, be kind to you. All the people, everywhere here. And it's kind of like, sometimes you get these people that you walk around and you look over at them and the guy will kind of give you the mean look or something like that. You never find that here. Anybody ever looks at you funny where you think that they're like being unfriendly or something, if you just say hello to them, it goes from the stare down to the, oh, hello. They're all like that. They're very, very friendly people here. They really are. You just have to get used to the customs on how the people are over here, like the foods they eat. My brother's always, David, been able to eat really hot food. And it's like, we go to the Buffalo Wild Wings and he'd get like the blazing. So I decided I was going to try the blazing chicken sandwich one time. And he said, I'm having a meeting. You can join us for the meeting. Dude, I was like almost crying eating that sandwich. Honestly, it was the hottest thing I'd ever eaten in my life. It was so hot. It was just, but I just couldn't. I was trying to keep people from knowing it was hot. And the guys at the meeting were like, what's wrong with Robbie? Is it hot? I was like, damn, guys, I'm sorry. So that was probably the hottest thing I'd eaten in my life up until like the year 2000. And then we had a place called the Thai Diner that was in Virginia, not too far from where Brad lives. And I went there and I ordered some chicken, and it looked like really fine chicken on top of a bed of white rice. So pretty, it looked like snow. And I looked on there and I could see the salt on it. You know, like the sea salt was everywhere. Well, let me tell you one thing. It wasn't sea salt. The best way I can explain it is, you know, when you got the kid and he's teething and you got the Orajel stuff that you squeeze and you put on there and you can't feel your mouth, whatever spice they use, it was like crystallized. They put it on that chicken. When I put it in my mouth, dude, it was like, I couldn't feel nothing, honestly. And that had been the hottest thing that I'd eaten. So when I moved to Thailand, my wife didn't think about the spicy food. She just said, you okay with a little spice? I said, yeah, no problem. So she'd been eating like 5 minutes. I'm over here running my mouth to someone else. And then I decided that, okay, I'm going to start eating. I'm eating the same thing as her. When I put the first spoonful in, I thought she was playing a game with me because I was like, she didn't even order a drink. I had like 2 waters in front of me just in case something was hot. And I couldn't believe it. And I told her, I wanted what you got. I think I got yours. She goes, no, we all got the same thing. I was like, you're telling me you're eating this with no water? And she's like, yeah. Dude, I couldn't believe it. And when I tell people this, you know what they say? Oh, I could eat it. I could eat it. My brother-in-law was one of those guys. I can eat it. So when I was in Virginia last time, I called my wife and I said, give me a name of a hot dish because I'm going to go to the Thai place. So the people in the Thai place lived in one of the major cities here. They had a restaurant. They know how to cook real Thai. And I told them, I said, I want hot basil pork. So it's chopped pork, like chopped beef with basil leaves, but it's a different basil leaf. It's a hot leaf. It's called hot basil. So they made the hot basil, and my wife told them, make it hot. Oh my God, he could like take freaking paint off the car. So I brought it home, let it sit it down. My brother-in-law made the meal, my sister there, her daughter's there, and we're eating. And he said, open up the Thai, let's have some Thai with our food. So I opened it up and he took a whole spoon and picked it up. And I said, David, don't be stupid. It's not going to kill you, but it will make you sick. He took a whole mouthful and put it in his mouth. Dude, it was like I threw gasoline in his mouth. By the time it hit his mouth, his whole face from above his eyes to under his chin was blood red. He was spitting out and everything else, trying to drink milk. They eat cucumber here. That's what cools down. So if you ever eat anything really hot, if you'll take a cucumber and wedge it, slice it like the wedge style and eat the cucumber, that's the only thing that I found. And everywhere here you eat, it's on the side. And I asked my wife, they serve it with everything. She goes, yeah, it's for the hot. So it really does, you know, cut down a lot. Me and Travels, welcome, buddy. So yeah, it really does cut down, but yeah, it's really hot. So I have to really watch what I eat when I'm over here. And my wife knows like at least 3 times a week, she'll bring me McDonald's, Subway, or KFC, or we'll go out. Or we do have a lot of Japanese restaurants in the malls here that are nice, high-end Japanese restaurants that are really clean, all the food, and nothing's hot. It's not hot, it's Japanese food. It's not like it's hot food. So those are just things that you have to deal with, you know, when you live over here. And my mom asks me every time I talk to her, honey, are you happy? Do you like it over there? Yeah, I do like it over here. We live really good over here. Things are clean. Everywhere we live, we travel, everything's clean. There's new, it's kind of like, guys, you know, you might know your area and your city around your house like the back of your hand, but once you get your drone up, like, wow, check it out. You've never seen that view before. It's something new. Well, that's the way it is living over here. It's like everything you do is new. It's like being young again and learning stuff for the first time on how things work. The difference that I've noticed here is when I lived in the US and you had a problem with your car, maybe your alternator, they sell you a new alternator. They don't sell you the parts. When I moved to Costa Rica for 10 years, when your alternator breaks, they don't really, you can buy a new part from the dealer, but they just sell you the parts and they've got 100 people that'll rebuild it for you. Well, here in Asia, all these countries, they do a step better. They make all those components where you can put them together. So when you're in Costa Rica, you're buying the diodes and all that stuff to put in the alternator. Here, they actually make the part. So for me to be able to come here and see how things are built, really made, what it really costs, and then I see the same exact product on Amazon, I'm just like, wow, it's amazing that, I mean, if y'all remember those shows that were on TV, how it's made, and it, showed you they make everything. Every day here, I learn how something is made, or something that we overthink that we pay so much for in the US is so cheap and made so easy here. And I like to take all this in. So for me, it's like being on a vacation here, living here. I don't have any responsibility. I mean, none, other than, the deposits from the businesses in here and everything. It's totally different. So anyway, we're still hanging in here. So I'll keep talking a little bit. We still got 5 people in here. If anybody needs to go, I totally understand. And well, I see they released the SE. I don't understand why they keep releasing these mini. I mean, we already got the mini drones that we need. I mean, if they're trying to hit a market where people can buy their first drone, I guess I can see it in that case. But honestly, if you bought a Mini 3 and you got an Air 2S, you got just about anything covered you want to do. So what else is everybody else going on? I've been rambling on the whole time and not letting nobody talk, but it is my live stream, so I do get to do that. So what's going on with you guys? And you also know one's going through a divorce, and Charles, you're probably doing gaming if you're up at night to be able to do that. Dustin, you spend a lot of time online. You should, if you want, I'll send you that link to what I started doing here. And it's pretty cool. They tell you like what companies are looking for people to help promote the products. But what I like about it is it's kind of like a school, and they do sell courses and extra stuff too after you take a $7 deal for 15 days. They like teach you everything you want to know. About like where to post, where to find people that are looking for these products and stuff like that. A lot of you guys that have maybe posted something from Amazon trying to get people to buy a link. Dude, I'm telling you, I thought it was the answer, and I thought, they're just haters. They don't want to click or no one wants to. It's not what the people are. I know what the people are now. And my buddy Tom, he knows what the people are, because when we took this course, they showed us where the people were. And when we put stuff out there now, we're not just throwing a link. Maybe we'll have an article about it, why people, what they like, what they don't like about it, and stuff like that. Mike said he's still got a mini one also. Absolutely. I didn't buy I did buy a Mini 2 when I was in the US. We bought it from Third Eye View from Robinson. And I actually bought my Air 2S from him too. You ever going to buy a drone? Call Robinson first, because let me tell you, it looks like he just took it out of Best Buy. I mean, it was like flawless. So I bought both of those drones, and that was the first drone that was a mini that I ever bought, Mike. I mean, the first. I'd never had a mini drone before then. And then when I moved to Thailand, I noticed that the area that I live, I'm right on the water. Like I can be in the ocean in under a minute. I'm that close. So everywhere I fly, I'm just about above water. And I didn't want to get a mini drone because honestly, the Air 2S, it can take the wind really well, but I knew anything under wasn't going to be strong enough. And then the Mini 3 came out. Mini 3 does good just along the edge of the water. I don't go too far out. If I go out, I wouldn't even go out a football field distance because the wind gets so aggressive here in areas. And then other areas we have that are really tropical, like mountains that are actually in the ocean that stick up. Dude, there's eagles there. An eagle hit one of my buddies' Mavic 3s and crashed it. And we don't have refresh here, so he had to pay for his repair. And he never knew what happened to it until he viewed his footage and he saw the claw on it. And then as he flew more that day with another drone, he saw the eagle again messing with his other drone. So we have to be really, really careful here where we fly in certain areas of what flown. So anyway, so I bought the Mini 3 Pro, and there's goods and there's bads. It's got just enough power where it can handle a medium wind with no issues, and I'm happy with it. But what I do like about it, Mike, is the portability to be able, I think y'all have seen, I had a case that it goes in that fits on my belt from Scotty Make Stuff. I like it because I can put it on my belt and jump on my motorcycle, because here I don't really ride my bike on the interstate on the big road because drivers are like crazy. But all the back roads where I live, I mean, I live like on one road that's, we're surrounded by ocean. So I just get on the road and turn left, and I mean, I see water within the first 15, 20 seconds of driving. I love popping it in that and going. Now, I do have the smart controller, and they make another one for the smart controller, but it's like putting a damn suitcase on your side. So normally I don't do that. So I just bought a little simple hard shell backpack, like a little sling that goes on there, and then they both fit in. And I jump on my bike and I go out to the water, and then on the water, it's kind of like how Florida is set up. Sometimes they'll have an area that goes from point A to point B with water on both sides. And they'll have a parking area for people to park motorcycles and cars on the side to kind of stop and look at the water. So I park there, and I usually fly there out of the water and through. But I love my Mini 3. It does everything that I wanted to do. I sold my Air 2S to Joe. I sold my Mavic 3 on eBay. I've sold every drone I had. And then when I started flying more about 2 months ago, I wish that I had not sold my Air 2S. So I bought a new Air 2S. And when I was in there, the guy worked me a deal on the Mavic 3. So I bought the Mavic 3 again. I bought the Mavic 3 again. And then I ended up buying the two Altels when I was in there too, which were the Nano Light and the small, I don't even remember, whatever the one it was that I gave to Al. So I ended up buying the damn things back because he worked me a really good deal. So now I'm just like back to where I started off. And mine didn't have that much wear on them. It's not like I wore them out or anything, but I was thinking that I was going to get something different. I wanted to get one of the bigger drones that had heat sink or something built into it, because we've got a family member here that worked for the border police, and they just started using drones. So Myanmar country is always having issues with Thailand, and they cross over, and they use the drones to see the guys walking over and coming in by water and boats and stuff like that. And I took my Mavic 3 out there one day, and they had like minis and an Air 2S or Air 2, and they were amazed at the zoom Mavic 3. And I was like, this is what y'all need. So they bought that, and then later I noticed that they had bought one of the bigger T30 or T300, whatever the big one, the big DJI drone is. They bought that, because the country the government's got cash. It's just the people. Some of the people don't have the cash. So they bought some of the bigger drones, and I would have liked to have one of those because, man, they're cool because you can like fly at night and see stuff, and there's a lot of wildlife here. So there's areas that have a lot of elephants and stuff, and there's places that I like to go. And I'm not going to let a Mavic 3 go down in the elephant field because you got like rangers out there that are supposed to be protecting the animals. I don't want to get into these issues. So get the Air 2S instead of the Mavic Pro. I think you'd be happier with it. Well, I agree with Mike. I agree with you on that part for this point. Yes, the Mavic 2 Pro is going to have a better camera as far as the quality of the image, without doubt. But probably if you're going to get a Mavic 2 Pro, you're not going to get a new one. You're going to get a used one. And you don't know what mileage has been on it, what issues has been on it. You may in the future have problems getting parts for it. For the Air 2S, it's going to do everything that you want it to do. Everything. The features, it's going to be brand new or near brand new. Because I considered getting the Mavic 2 Pro, but you start getting smart controllers, which most of y'all have. No one wants to go back to a phone or a cheap remote. And with the new smart controllers we have now, I wouldn't want to go back to a regular remote like the first minis. Those remotes, man, I like the smart remotes. Yeah, I know you prefer the camera, but number one, I'm not sure what the Mavic 2 Pros go for, but I'm sure they're still higher than the Air 2S. You can probably get a whole combo kit on the Air 2S for what you're going to pay for your Mavic 2 Pro. But I kind of side with Mike on that. On that, Air 2S really is just for me. It's like the all-around drone. It's got just enough power to handle the winds, the distance, and look at the issues that we've had in the groups with those. Nothing. Look at when the Mavic 3 came out, all the different issues we had. Keep in mind, most of them were software, but there were still issues. I don't really remember hearing people having issues with the Air 2S. Yeah, I was trying to sell something on you. What was it I was selling? I was trying to sell something on YouTube. I forget what it was. It was another drone I had. Oh, I think it was when I sold my Avata. I didn't like it. I didn't buy another one. I sold it. I sold it on eBay. So I had two guys that were bidding on it. And example, maybe I had it on there for $1,000. And then someone instantly bid like $1,650 on it. Well, when everybody realized what they cost, they were like, well, we're not going to outbid this guy at 1650. So we're not going to bid. He was the only bidder. So I looked at where he lived and what city he lived in. It was like a no-name city. And then like 3 minutes before it was over, he canceled his order. And you know, the funny thing is, someone else came back in for like $1,000 that lives in the same city and bid $999 on it to try to get it. So what they did is they put a price up so high, it pushed off all the other possible buyers and they canceled on me and then left me 3 minutes before the sale thinking I was going to get over $1,600 for it. And then they came back in and bid like $999 on it, which was going to be the winning price. And I canceled it. And when I canceled it, they were trying to tell me I couldn't do it. And I said, oh, I canceled it because I damaged it or broke it. It's broken now. You know, I still had to pay. They charged me like $137 sale fee for that. I didn't even sell it. But the guy didn't get it. And then the guy called back and was like, hey, why didn't I get it? And I said, well, I noticed that you were in the same small town as this other guy, and I know it's you on a different account. So, dude, I'll just keep it. It's not for sale anymore. And I did end up putting it back on eBay, and I did sell it that time. And the guy bid on it, and I told him, it's not, I'm not selling it to you. I refuse to sell it to you. And I said, if I see a price go high, I'll take it off and keep it. And he just didn't mess with it from that point on. Uh, let's see, I'm seeing 7 people that are watching, but how many people are actually in the chat? That's what I want to know. Because I'm just curious how many people are watching that are not in the chat. So I know Gary left. Dustin, you're still here. Let's see, Northside Hawk, are you still here? And who else might be? I think you're still here. I'm just curious, out of the 7, makes me wonder who's lurking in the background. You know, we've been on for an hour and 43 minutes. Okay, Mark, that guy, you're here. Hey, buddy. GSK is here. It's me, you, and Mike. Yeah, exactly. So what's going on with y'all flying y'all's drones? Have you been flying, putting out many videos? If you have, I've not looked at them. I'm sorry. I've been kind of had my hands full here, getting everything done. I wish these air conditioning guys would get here. It's a little warm in here. Okay, Mark the Tech Guy. I am 3D printing. What are you printing, buddy? What are you printing right now? Yeah. And also, Mark, tell me, what's your favorite thing that you've 3D printed? Since you've been 3D printing, what has been your favorite thing and your most useful thing that you've printed so far? Because let me share with y'all what I printed, which has been my most useful thing. And I got to move my camera here. I made a laptop stand. See the stand, the way it works? It's like that on both sides. and it keeps my laptop off of here, off of the mat where it breathes better. It's in vertical, but it's a space saver because I can like put it behind my monitor here, and then I just run everything in the front. So that has been my most useful 3D print that I've done. And then I'd shown earlier, I don't know, Mark, if you were on here when I showed this, but when I had set up for this is my personal 3D printer. In the other room, I've got another counter like this that I've got nothing but the same 3D printers on. So these are dual. This is a dual head 10 log 3D printers, the ones that I use. And what I did was I actually put a whole rack up under here too. So it's got those are all ABSs, the harder materials at the bottom. And I got my TPUs and PLAs in here. So I physically have see if I can get over there and show it better. I can only reach so far. I keep all my rolls in there, and then before I use them, I put them in a dryer for about 3 hours and dry them. Because I have some materials like, orange is always the worst and you can look in some of those translucent colors and see the white going up the color, and that means there's moisture and it snaps real easy. So each time I use it, of course, I'll put it in the dryer first and cut the tip off. And my prints come out really well. Okay, you got Ender 3 Pro. DeWalt drill brackets, cool. Hey, I got a video. I don't know what upgrades you've done to yours on the Ender. I made some alterations to some 3D files that I found, Mark, that were for the Ender 3. One of them was, like where your SD card goes in your Ender. So a lot of people know, when you have an SD card slot in the side of one of these printers, there's a motherboard on the inside that it goes in. So if you really print a lot of stuff out and you're not connected directly and you're like taking the SD card out constantly with a micro SD, that notch can wear out. So I found a guy online that actually, he had bought a cable that has the micro SD on one side, male, and the female on the other side. So it's a ribbon that he plugged in, and he made an adapter that it locks in and goes on the side of the printer. So you're putting it in that ribbon extension. So if it ever wears out, you just replace the ribbon and you don't replace the actual motherboard for it. So that's, I've got that. I made taller feet on my printer, and it lowered the heat level of my printer by like 5 degrees. I guess airflow is better up under the machine because that's where all the fans are. So I did a couple of upgrades on mine that the Ender guy did, and just made some alterations to his design. And then I've got the filament, what do you call them? The filament sensor. So if the filament breaks and it doesn't, once it pulls it through the broken part through the little sensor, it realizes you're out and the printer stops. I made some mounts for that, but I've got a really cool couple of videos that a guy put out a bunch of stuff, prints for the Ender. If you're interested, let me know and I'll send you that video and you can look and see, but they're all made for your printer. I had to alter them to get them to do mine. Let's see. Let's see here. Charles, I have not been able to fly in months. Weather is either too cold, too windy, or rainy, snowy. I'm hoping it will calm down this year. I may have to sell my Mini 2 and upgrade them. Hey, I was going to ask everybody, just so everybody knows, because as people were trying to dog me, somebody was trying to say that when I sold the keychains, that after the first year, you guys were going to have to pay to have that website and everything I do. You never got a bill, and you never will. I didn't really make any money off that. I printed them out, sending to you guys to help you guys when you're out, to make it easier to get a subscriber. And somebody said, "Oh, it's not a magic thing that gets subscribers." No shit. It's not made for that. It's just made when you're out there and not have to help the guy type the crap in on his phone. You can just scan it in. So for all of y'all that did buy those, still, and I use mine too. That's all it's for. And you can download any app for that and change the URL or anything. because Maddie or somebody made the comment, I've hacked mine. He disabled mine. Yeah, I gave him his until he talked shit about me and I erased it. I've hacked it and I've got it hooked back up to the site. Well, he don't have a site anymore with all the social medias because the one that you guys got and y'all paid for, he got his free because he talked his way into it. So I disabled it. So yeah, he probably linked it to his YouTube channel, but he don't have a link or channel anymore that goes to all the other ones. So yeah, I figured with the cold weather you guys had, and I kind of miss it. I don't know out of who in the group who all lives in Florida, but you know how it gets hot there sometimes. Well, it's like pretty much like that here, every day hot. So it's a little different. I missed the seasons. Last year I was home during COVID and it was snowing the year before last. I was home and I really enjoyed having some cold weather. But if my air conditioner guy would get here, I could have my cold weather again. So I'm kind of waiting around here. Let's see where. But anyway, just so y'all know, all you guys that got the keychains, I own all my own servers. So all the data and everything that's on there, maintenance, if you ever need to change a link or do anything, just reach out to me. The whole point was not to try to get people to pay bills each year. I mean, and here's the thing, somebody made the comment and they said, oh, when Robbie sold the keychains, did you notice that he put them on his URL? So everything's up under World Drone Community. Well, let me tell you the option there. If it's on World Drone Community, Robbie has to renew that domain name each year. All of you guys got keychains, you don't have to worry about renewing your domain name each year and paying 20, and it's got higher now, like up to $30 for a name. So the $30 that you paid to get the 2 keychains to get the website, it's permanent. You never have to upgrade your domain name. And I just do it under World Drone so you guys wouldn't have to buy it. No other reason. I didn't get anything else out of it. Captain Joe, how is the Air 2S, buddy? I bought a new one. They worked me a deal at the DJI store, so I bought another one. Man, there's still quite a few people on here. Still got 7 people in the chat. The late nighters. Y'all are like me, man. Sometimes I'll stay up till like 2:30. And then my wife gets up at like 5, so I get up kind of like be up with her before she goes to work. She leaves at about 7:15, 7:30. So it gives me a little time as she's ironing the clothes and the kids' clothes and all that. You know, you saw how good a shape that drone was when I sold to you, Joe. And it was the same exact way when I bought it from Robinson. I was talking about Robinson earlier. Third Eye View sold me that. And when I sold it to you, I've been flying the Mavic 3 more. Did you buy the Mavic 3 new? Or did you get a refurb, or Joe, or what did you do when you bought the Mavic 3? Oh, okay. So Mark, you're in Ontario. Oh, okay. Joe, can you share what you paid for it, or around about what you paid for the Mavic 3? Because I sold my Mavic 3 and I sold it on eBay. And I think I got $1,800 for it. Keep in mind, they took out all the fees and taxes and crap, so I think I got like $1,400 for it. And mine had the Fly More pack with all the batteries. Yeah, 1629, yeah. You know, and I think that when you bought that at a good time, because I think that when the Mavic 3 Classic came out, I think a lot of people saw, you know, the power and everything else and figured, hey, I can deal without some of the features that the full one has. I think it brought the price of the Mavic 3 Pro down when they came out with the Classic. So I turned around and rebought it. Yeah, it's higher now. Yeah, it's gone back up because I know very few people that bought the Classic. And I don't even know what I paid for the Mavic 3 when I bought it again because my wife actually paid for it with a credit card from here because that's all I got took. Says right here, it says JSK said, I think I'm going to buy a couple new batteries. That incident scared the blank out of me. Yeah, I can understand that. Me and Al Duran were flying in Virginia one time and we went on the side of the water. We're sitting on some rocks and I had my bag open and I had all my stuff in it. And one of my air tube batteries fell in the water and it fell in like 2 foot of water. I could see it at the bottom and I picked it up and I was trying to shake it off. And Al was like, the lights were doing this. And I said, Al, he goes, just put it there and see if it works. I was like, shoot, you stick it yours and see if yours works. So I had just gotten it. I bought that battery from Amazon. It kept lighting up and acting funny. So I did the honest stack and I sent it back to Amazon to get a replacement. And sure enough, they sent me a new one. Oh, good. You got a $150 coupon with Best Buy. So bought the Mavic 3. Hey, it's funny because our DJI cameras we have in the US, when I bought my Mavic 3, I bought it during the announcement of it coming out. So I was like, got it really quick because I was like, when they were still showing the video and they let the website sell the thing like a minute and a half or 2 minutes before the video ended. So I had all my information already typed in when I got the Mavic 3. And I got it quick. And of course, I got the regular controller with it, and then I bought the smart controller, not the Pro, but the one before that from somebody, and used that. And then, of course, when later I used that one on my Air 2S, and then I bought the Pro controller to go, RC Pro to go with my Mavic 3. But they gave me points at the DJI store. So any of you guys that bought anything through the DJI, you know how they give you like a couple dollars credit for when you buy stuff? Well, they had given me credit. So I'm over here thinking I'm going to buy something from DJI, log into my account. They're like, you can't use your account here. You have to open a new account. So fine, not a problem. I opened it up. They would not let me transfer that money over here where I could use it over here. So I've got like a $47 coupon in my Amazon in US that I guess I could use. I could turn my VPN, log into it, buy something there and have it delivered to my brother's. But of course, it would cost so much for him to ship it to me, then it wouldn't help. So when I get back home, I'll definitely be using my credit for that. I have 6 batteries for my Mini 2, nice hard case with all the cool attachments. Mark, what are you're going to sell that? What kind of price are you asking for it? Like 650, yeah. Johnny's got a channel. Matter of fact, I'm an admin. I keep getting the thing where people are joining. Drone Swap Shop Facebook group. If you're not already a member of that, it's a group that Johnny's got that I'm an admin on. You can go in there and post it in that and see who bites. Joe, you don't see a lot of Air 2S's for sale. That's one drone and you just don't see a lot. And I guess the people that buy the Mavic 3s, because price is high, you see a lot of people either buying refurb directly from DJI or buying it just brand new from DJI. So you don't see a lot of used ones rolling around, but the Air 2S's you really don't because they're at a lower price range where most people can squeeze out enough money to buy it. So, okay, well, guys, look, it's we've been on for 2 hours already. I just came on to say hi, let everybody know I'm still breathing, if they was curious or wondered or even cared. And I don't know what my plan is for coming back yet with everything else going on. But, sometimes I said I just feel like walking away from when people, they just want to be negative about stuff. And, the best thing you can do is just like walk away from it and leave it alone and not argue with it. Because like my wife says, you can't fix stupid. So I may pop up here and there on a show, or I don't know, maybe next week me and Al will do our show. We didn't do it this Sunday. Maybe we'll do it next Sunday. But look, I'm here. If you guys just want someone to talk to, I'm on Messenger. Like always, just give me a holler. And I really appreciate all of you guys coming in here, especially late at night, and just hanging out with me and letting me know that there's still some normal people in the community that aren't trying to trash talk all the other people on YouTube. Because guys, we got to all be able to get along. I get tired of some of the people talking crap about people. It gets old. So, okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here, and we'll see y'all later. And hey, thanks all of you for coming out, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.